What is up, YouTube? This is session number 2 of the week, and today I believe we're doing. Let's have a look. Today we're doing pulling arms, so we're going to do some back. Some pulling movements, and we're still going to incorporate some arms. Trained the other day, and I'm still quite sore from that first workout that I had done, and just from the feedback that you guys have been sending me, it seems like you guys really enjoyed what I had to teach, my years of knowledge, experience, and you guys really reacted to that very well. So I will continue to send more little snippets like that. And just as of today, solely because I've been tracking my weight for the past 2 weeks, and I've been consistently at 350 grams of carbs per day. My carbs are going up now, so as of today I'll be on 390 carbs. So calorie wise, we are looking at, from a nutritional standpoint, I'm on 2,730 calories per day, which is a lot of food to be eating, but when you're training hard, regularly and consistently, that 390 grams of carbs, it's quite low, right? So I'm quite excited to be seeing how my physique is going to change over the next 6 to 8 weeks. I'm going to stay in this position for a little while, and then depending on how things are moving along, I can either titrate upwards, or we can kind of taper it down and see what effect I am after. But let's get started, and I will see you shortly. Right guys, so today's first exercise is going to be unilateral cable D handle. So that's a cable D handle, and we'll be doing single arm pull downs. So when you're doing any kind of pull down movement, there's lots of variations online, and you'll see different people doing different movements. Some of them which have their place, some of them kind of questionable, right? But then you really need to ask yourself the question, what muscle group am I actually trying to target, right? So when most people do some kind of a pull down movement, they will do something where they start off here and then they end up pulling there. So you see how the path line of the cable, it came that way? That's more of a rear delt traps movement, the upper back movement. But my sole purpose in this movement is I'm trying to contract my lats. So I'm sure you've been taught that yes, you need to lean back when you're doing pull downs. It does have some degree of correctness there, but what you're actually trying to do, you want to lean back just enough so you're breaking your core, right? So your core is engaged, and your primary purpose should be to drive your elbow into the pocket of your pelvis, right? Because if I come further back, then my delt starts to take over. I'm starting to use different muscle groups that I don't really want to be using. So if I can drive my elbow into the pocket of my pelvis, this contracts the lat all the way right down to the bottom, okay? So you can do this either seated, or you can do this kneeling. Just because this machine's range of movement isn't great and all of the other cable stats are being used right now, I'm going to be using this one over here. So what I would do from here, just here, my aim is to drive this right into this over here. So just there, and I can really feel my entire lat engage. just do a nice little warm-up set. Feeders, I'm really big into feeder sets. And as always, you want to pause at the very bottom of the movement, right? Because that's where most people just want to heave it down, take it back up, but that's where you're weak. So you want to spend more time in the areas that you're weak, and then you'll get stronger, and you'll actually build more muscle, right? So those places where you're shit, spend more time there, and I guarantee you will grow. Okay, that's a nice one. Let's put this over here. I was trying to find another handle, but I can't seem to find any. I've come to the gym today when it's kind of peak time, so I'm going to be hitting that school period where all the kids come in and they just hog the machines, right? So you kids out there, right? So when you come to the gym, please don't hang around in like groups of 10 hogging one machine. Good movement. All right. Cool. So let's see how many sets we're doing. So we're doing 3 sets. Reps are, 3 sets, repetitions, 10 to 15 rep range, and tempo is 3-1-1-2. What that basically means is that we're going to pull down for 1 second, hold it there for 2, and eccentrically take it back up for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, hold it there for 1, bring it down for 1, hold it there for 2, and then repeat. Okay, so 21.6. So at the last time I used a different weight machine. I haven't used this machine before, so I'm just going to try and eyeball it. So a question that you guys might ask yourselves is, what weight should I be doing? First of all, you need to figure out what is the rep range that you're trying to aim for, and then once you have figured out what your rep range target is, you want to choose a weight that you're just shy of failing, and you're going to try and get those last 2 repetitions, which should be a challenge, in order for you to get the last 2 reps. So hence why we do feeder sets, so you can realize and understand what weight is your actual working set. Okay, so I'm going to take this up, take up to 39, and let's have a go. Let's put some music on. Alrighty. 3-1-1-2. Right there, that's a good one. So I'm feeling this right down into my lower lat. So that's a stretch, and I'm pulling down, then I'm holding it there, slowly going back up. Wow. That was good. That was a really good set. I've never actually done this machine before. This is a dual cable set, but it actually felt really good. Had so much more range of movement, so much more depth as well. So you guys are probably wondering, what am I wearing on my wrist? These are Cobra grips, very similar to Versa grips, and what this does is this eliminates me having my forearms get tired and get fatigued from the movement. So instead of me prematurely giving up, we will use the straps and they will lock in, and then you almost feel your lats doing more of the work because you're not subconsciously trying to actually grip the handle with your hand anymore. So great investment. I'm not endorsed by them. I don't have any sponsorship deal with them, but I highly recommend you get yourself some Cobra grips or some Versa grips. All right, let's go. Come on. Oh. Wow. Wow. So, that was a really good set. My intention with that set was to try and get my brain to understand what I'm trying to work and really contract my lat, which inserts all the way right down to here. So we're not just focusing on just doing that. You want to drive your elbow down, which is engaging my lat, and that's the primary purpose of what I'm trying to do here. Great exercise, right? So if you haven't done it before, try it out. Right? It's, as that saying goes, fuck around and find out. Alright, so we're going to stay at the same weight. Fuck. Yeah, that's one of the best feelings when you think that you're gonna pass out or you're gonna fucking die. and then you make it out the other end. So one of the best feelings ever. That's kind of scary as well, isn't it? We do it every day. It's those near-death experiences here that make us live and show up every single day. Alright, so I got slightly less on that one. So next set, last set, I'm going to drop the load and just try and go for repetitions if it's still challenging enough that we're not just going through the movement. So So as my form starts to go out the fucking window, now I'm just gonna try and go for the movement. So today I had 120 grams of carbs prior to working out, and I'm fucking locked in right now. Wicked stuff happening right now. So really happy about that. Okay, let's go. All right, 3 sets, 3 very good sets. Let's go to the next. All right, sorry about that. I was talking to you guys, and I can clearly see that I'm recording and I'm talking, but we're going to be polite. You know, like the gym's about making friends, and it's not my right to be having a camera here and taking up that space. So this is a luxury for me to be able to do this. So that was on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being maximum difficulty. That was about a 6, right? So I'm going to take the weight up by about maybe 5 or 10 kilos. And I really just want to get strong at this movement, because this movement, in the past I've had a tendency to just stack the weight up, and then my form just goes completely out the fucking window, and we don't want that. So I'm trying to get strong in the areas that I'm weak, as well as this is helping me engage my core better, firing my hamstrings, firing my glutes, which are going to help my lower back to actually get stronger. So we're going for about 8 to 10 repetitions. If I get to 10, I'm going to carry on going until I physically cannot do anymore. But the main thing that I'm going to try to emphasize is that form stays strict towards the end. I don't mind if there's like a little bit of a jerking movement, but then not like a drastic jerking movement where I'm just like heaving and hinging everything. So let's go. Oh, I think I got 12 or 13 out of that. That was a good set. So, 20 kilos. So for my next set, I'm going to go for 12 to 15. So I'm going to drop the load and I'm going to possibly take off the 10 and just add the 5 to it. So give me 1 second, guys. Hi, one more set. Thank you. So one more set to do and just go to failure. All right. Always be kind and courteous in the gym. Everyone's here for their reasons. It's nice to be nice, right? Alright. A quick slug of water. And do our final set. You can see from my movement, I'm really emphasizing tempo. Tempo is absolute king here if you're trying to build muscle and get strong. So let's go. That was 2 working sets. And I can really feel every single one of our back muscles working there, from the middle back, lower back, glutes, hamstrings, core, rear delts. Wicked movement, and it's wicked if you do it with control and intention. So let's move on to the next movement that we're doing today. Alright guys, next movement is going to be dumbbell row. I preferably like to use a bench where I can lean up against on, and it gives me some stability. So then I've got 3 points of stability. I've got my feet, left and right foot, and then I've got one hand on the bench, and then I actually get a much deeper stretch all the way down. So again, just like how we do any pull down movements or even rowing movements, your aim is to drive your elbow into the pocket of your pelvis, and you'll realize that when you're doing rows, this is a completely different movement, and you may even need to lighten the load. So leaving your ego at the door and training with intention as well as some smartness as well, right? So if you understand how muscle fibers move, how muscle fibers work, right? So if you look at your muscle fibers of your back, they go all the way down, right? So why would I just want to short chain myself and stop here? I want to come all the way down there because that's where my lats end all the way down into here. So, okay, let's go. Good, how's it going?
How you doing, yeah? Good?
Give me 2 minutes, I'm just recording a set.
Yeah, cool.
I'll come see you in a bit. So, from here, look at this stretch I'm getting. Right into the pelvis. That was good. That was really good. So let's show you a different angle. Let's go on the left side. Just going to move that here. And it's very similar to how you would have done the T-bar row, right? So everything is, so your hips, right? So you're hinging them backwards, contracting your glutes, contracting your hamstrings, bracing your core, and then just driving from your elbow, and you're driving it back into the socket of your pelvis. And no twisty, jerky movements. Towards the end, as you start to get fatigue, quality of repetitions go down, and that's fine. You know, that's expected. You can use a little bit of momentum, swing, but you don't want to be doing stuff that's drastically different shit. Okay, so let's do the next one. So my hips are hinged back. Oh wow, that has my lats on fire. I'm just going to go change the weight and get a lower weight. Set number 2, 15 plus reps. Let's go. Again, keeping all structures locked in place, minimal momentum, really trying to engage what we're trying to work. So let's go. Now the form's going out the window. Let's use a little bit of momentum. I think I've got about 15, 16 there. Let's go to the left side. Right, form's going out the window. Alright, next movement is going to be cable single arm row, and let's see how many sets we're doing. So we're doing 3 sets, and repetition ranges are 12 to 15, and tempo 3, 1, 1, 1. Again, same thing with any kind of back movement. We are really trying to drive your elbow into the pocket of your pelvis. Because if you look at your lats, your lats come all the way right down to the bottom. Most people will do that kind of a movement, and then you're predominantly working your upper traps, upper back. Whereas you just imagine you're pulling your elbow 45-degree angle down to the floor, and just by doing that you're engaging everything from your top of your back all the way right down to the bottom end of your back. So think about movements, right? So when you can't feel something, just try experimenting by shifting your arm or your elbow to a slightly different position and see what's firing, right? Once you can start to feel what is firing, and you'll be able to kind of know what movement works best for you. And that's how I learned, right? But then you've got YouTube, which is absolutely great. You've got great teachers on YouTube, great content creators, great coaches. A lot of coaches who I learned from, who have been my mentors. And yeah, learn how the human body functions. All right, so last week I've done 18, so we'll take this load up. We'll go to about 25. In fact, I may have overshot the gun on that one, so I'm going to go, we'll go 20.3. This is quite heavy. That was challenging. So don't forget, by now I'm most likely fatigued on my back as well. So my arms are going to be fatigued, my back is going to be fatigued. So I may not be lifting to the maximum of my capability. But that's why we have straps again, right? Because the very first thing that's going to give up is my forearms and my biceps. But then if I was just using my hand, that would pretty much my forearms and my biceps would take over the movement, which I don't really want. Think of this as you're trying to hit someone behind you with your tricep and your elbow. All right, so I need to lighten the load now. We'll take off 2.5 and we'll add on that, and we want to try and find another one. We find those little plates. Put one over here. So these little small little mini attachments, which are 2 kilos, absolutely great, because these plates, so they go up in 6 to 7 kg jumps, and that's a big jump if you're trying to trying to do like an increased load, or if you're trying to do a drop set, and if you drop down too much and then it's just way too easy, so then you're not really challenging yourself. So, let's have a quick swig of water, staying hydrated. What questions do you have for me, you guys? I know my channel's new, just trying to share my knowledge, share my experiences, and make the world and its people make better informed fitness decisions, nutritional decisions, live a better quality of life. And this is quite strange as well, me talking to a camera and not getting any verbal cues back, as most of us are used to having conversations with people, be that in person or on the phone. So this is a whole new world to me, but we're learning skills. Let's go. So you see like a lot of guys in the gym, they'll all stack the fucking weight on. They'll just do this. And yeah, you've moved the weight stack away from its gravitational starting point, but you haven't actually worked any muscle, right? So lower the weight, get used to doing 4 ranges of movement. And you'll find when you're doing these unilateral movements, you'll have one side that you are stronger on. And that's perfectly normal. It just shows you where you're stronger and where you have some possible structural imbalances. It gives you a chance to work on them. Very important to record what you're doing. I think we got about 12 on that one, so I need to drop the load even further. So that previous set that I just done was 15 kilos. It may not sound like a lot, but my muscles are pretty fried right now. And again, not forgetting why I'm here, always remind yourself that you're here to just simply cause as much damage as you can to your muscle group and leave. I don't care about how much load I can lift. Those days are well and truly gone behind me. Yeah, like it feels nice sometimes when you lift some heavy shit, but the risk to reward ratio is just not worth it sometimes. I'd rather move with control and conviction. Let's go. Last set. Oh yeah, that's nice. Partials now. Oh man, that was good. That was very, very good. No. All right. Last set. Remember, trying to drag your elbow across your quad, sweeping it right down into your pelvis. That was a fucking awesome set. Alright. Oh man, that was good. I'm done. Yeah. Alright guys, next exercise, rear delts. Pretty easy rear delt fly. We can use this pec deck machine, which also turns into a rear delt movement. What I personally find is when I use the handles, my forearms and my biceps take over, and it doesn't let me engage with my rear delts enough. So what I like to do is I like to use my forearms instead, and really not give a shit about how much load I'm lifting here, but really just trying to get as far out as I possibly can. And then you're going to be weakest in the movement where you're far out, right? So that's where you're weak and shit. Hold it in that position and you'll get stronger over there. Okay, so let's focus on doing that. So we're going for 12 to 15 reps. And let's give it a go. So I'm going to be using this stance. So we're just coming right back, and just before the plates touch, come back out. So previously, I used to load this up and just swing the movement, and yeah, you know, I feel good that I've shifted some load. But I've never really feel my rear delts working until I started doing this movement. Now that my hands are no longer squeezing the bar, the only thing that really has to move is my arms, and my rear delts have to contract, and all of my back muscles have to contract as well. And you'll start to fatigue like I am. You can reset. And when you can't do anymore, just do partials. I couldn't even do partials. So I barely got even 12 reps, and that was at 18. So I'm going to drop the load again. We're going to go down to 11 and really just focus on contraction here. That's the number one thing that I'm trying to do, contraction. I'm going to change the angle for you guys so you can see it what it looks like from the back. So, from feet to here, this is what you guys should be seeing. I can feel so much better contraction with this. Just need to reset. There we go. Wow. So, my back is pretty fried right now. So that was 11. I don't even think I got 12 out of that. So we're going to lower the load again and just go to the absolute minimum of weight that it accepts. And we're just going to go for contraction. So that's all we're going for, one more. So we're just going to go for contractions, and that is it. That's your purpose here in the gym. Let's go for partials. Alright, that's going down the red out. Right. We've covered quite a few back exercises there today. Because it's a pull day as well, we're just going to throw in some arms. We're going to be doing preacher curl, matrix, preacher curl machine, and then we'll be doing a tricep movement. I believe it's overhead unilateral cable extensions. Very fancy words, but it's just basically like a cable extension above your head where you just lock everything in place and you can't cheat. Okay? So for this movement, we're aiming to get 15 to 20 repetitions, and again, like I said, like it's got nothing to do with how much load I can lift. It's really about contraction, holding in the places that you are piss poor movements and you're weak, and go from there. So people having fun in the gym. So we're going to put it on. We're going to put it on 14 kilos. And tempo-wise, what am I looking at? 3-1-1-2. So what that means is we're going to come down for 3 seconds, right? So coming down for 3, holding there for 1, contract for 1, and hold it there for 2. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this should take you, each repetition should take you 7 seconds to do. So if you're doing 20 repetitions and each repetition takes you 7 seconds, 7 times 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 140. So this one set should take you about 140 seconds. It sounds like a very long time, and it is a fucking very long time. All right, so that's why if you understand tempo, you can really be smart at programming, because if you time your workouts, you will know exactly how long it's going to take for you to complete workout X or whatever you're doing. Now, I need some music. We will go for, who should we have today? That's from 50 Cent. Better bitty baby. All right, let's go. And when you do this movement, you want to make sure you have all of your tricep belly onto the platform, so you can get that maximum extension forward. And what some people will do, they'll move their head forward, thinking that they've done the rep, but they haven't actually done the rep. What you've done is you prematurely moved your head closer to the bar, which tricks your brain into thinking that you've actually done the movement, but you haven't. You just moved yourself forward. Your arm pathway has still stayed the same. You need to make sure that you complete the movement. So hence why you want to have your head in neutral. Find something nice to look at. If this is my gym, I'd have a portrait of myself right in front of me looking at myself. Yeah, that's one line I used to love using with my clients, and they start laughing. It's good to make your clients laugh. And a gym's not a serious place. It's a fun place. I've lost count. We carry on moving until we can't do anymore. Get up there. Oh, Betsy. Alright, that was a really good set. So, we're going to, oh, she lost me. There I am. Alright, so, that was a really good set. And we want to try and repeat that. Alright. Oh, this is the team. Who remembers A Little Less Conversation by Elvis Presley? There was that remix that happened, I think it happened about 20 years ago, and I kind of used it in Ocean's 11, or was it Ocean's 12? Great movie, by the way. One of the best. Alright. Let's go. So we don't want to jump up too much in weight too quickly, because you will come to a premature wall where you can't do anymore. Alright, so that got challenging very, very quickly. I'm going to drop the load on the next one. So I'm going to go down to 9. I'll try and get as many as I can out of 9. And then if I need to drop the weight again, I can drop the load. So don't be afraid of lightening the load. It's one of your best friends in the gym. In fact, these little 1 kilo plates, the best friends that you'll ever find. The most truthful friends you'll ever find in life. Oh fuck, I'm fatigued. Alright, let's go. Let's have the music. The music stopped. There we go. Alright, let's go. You gotta get angry in the gym sometimes. You gotta think about shit that's pissed you off in your day. This is your place where you get to get rid of all of life's bullshit, people that annoy you. And because you're at the professional work environment, you gotta behave. Otherwise, you'll be very politely invited to HR for a meeting. We don't want that. Tambe wants you to make gains, not enemies. So, take your frustration out here in a constructive place. That's what it's built for. You get to have aggression in a controlled platform, and it's that great that the byproduct is you drop body fat, you build muscle, you build confidence, and you look fucking sexy in the mirror as well. I know I do. Come on. Straight away into it. When you're doing this, you want to visualize the most amazing arms that you've ever seen in your life. Picture your head on it, picture that it's you. Get into the mindset, the visualization that you are everything that you want to be. Your brain is the most powerful piece of equipment that you'll ever have, and it's personal to you. You can program it to how you want it to be. Let's go for partials. Oh my God. Wow. That was a good arm workout. Look at that. Even my sleeves. Even my sleeve is tightened up, so good. Alright. What's losing me? Alright, so we're done 3 bicep sets. Sorry. We've done 1 movement for biceps, 3 sets, 12 to 15 15 to 20 repetitions. The reason being that I'm not throwing in a lot of arm work in today is because we've done a lot of back movements which cause your biceps to actually contract anyway, right? So whenever you're doing any kind of pull movement, your biceps are working, so we don't need to give it too much stimuli, like I just completely kill them off, right? So that will come on a dedicated arm day. So now we're going to move on to a tricep based movement, and I believe that will be it. So let's go over there. Alright guys, last movement, something really simple but very effective. Unilateral overhead tricep cable extension. Such a fucking mouthful. Really keeping it light, 4 kilos, even 4.5, even the very first plate, 12 to 15 repetitions. And how we do this? With this particular one, I don't really like it because it just moves around too much, but it is what it is. You've got to work with what you've got. From here, standing up nice and tall, and you can either have your arm this way or you can have your arm over here. I'm going to turn this way so you can actually see my face. I'm going to try and keep this as straight as I can. I'm just extending up towards the ceiling. And a slow eccentric down. Full range, get your forearm to actually cusp your actual bicep, right? So that should be happening. come all the way up, and should have a nice contraction right over here. Come. So what you want to focus on is when you get to the top, really hold it there for like a second or two. Really contract this and then control it down, because naturally you're going to want to do this. Go there and just bounce back up because you're weak there. If you hold it in that position there, you'll get stronger over time and you'll build more muscle. And I'm just using my hand here just so I can make sure that my arm stays where I want it to stay. And it's just a mechanism to like cue your brain to understand where stuff is in time and space. So now my arm's starting to burn. This is where most of you would normally stop. This is where you really dig deep and give it some. One more. Wow. That burns. So now we do the other arm. Same thing. Again. Your aim is to go right towards the ceiling. So this arm, you want it to almost stay 180 degrees. You go all the way to the top and then slowly come down, and from there. Yeah, it's quite a nice movement because I don't normally program this, and it feels nice to not have to do triceps where I'm extending it down, which would be this kind of movement, and then your delts rotate around you. I would do too much of that, so you have to think about all of your pressing movements. So your chest press, your shoulder press, that's all front delt. I don't need more of that. There we go, now it's starting to burn. Now we carry on going. Straight into the other arm, because this arm's already had a rest. We don't need to take a double rest on it. And you might find that your triceps extend better with your arm facing that way. That's perfectly fine. If you find that it contracts better forward, that's fine as well. Wherever your mechanics allow you to contract it better, just find that sweet spot and go to town on it. So here's another thing. The further away you stand from it, the harder it gets. The closer you stand to the stack. If you look at the line of the cable, it has to go vertically down. So don't make the job harder for yourself by standing too far away from the stack. Had to correct myself on that previous one. I kind of came back down too quick. It's always good to check yourself. Oh my God. One more. Oh gosh. Alright, so now we do the other one. So, one of the bad things about Matrix, and not necessarily Matrix, I mean, like if you look at like a lot of the new gym kit, they've got this plastic covering in front of the stack, and I get why they do it, because it's a way for people to not shove their fingers in there and get hurt, but you can't add small micro jumps of like little plates or increments into it, which if I was to go up on the next plate on this, it goes from 4 kilos up to 9 kilos. Now that's a big jump. But last time I went around the back and I added some load, but the way that this mechanism is, because it's a dual pulley stack, for some reason like the weight was just shifted onto one side of the stack, and I could tell straight away that, hold on, that the weight is off to one side and it's not smooth. Oh. Last one. Trying to make sure I keep that arm straight. My phone's starting to go out the window now, so I'm just going to rip it out. Alright, now we rip it out. Excuse me. All right, so that's today's session done. We've done, I think we've done about 5 or 6 back movements, red elks. Your arms sort of worked on every single movement anyway. One dedicated bicep exercise, one dedicated tricep movement, and good session. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. Over and out.